Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a monthly favorites video. Full transparency. Oh. Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another monthly favorites video. This is actually 2 months rolled into one, so I'm doing my June and my July favorites for a couple of reasons. One, we're already in August, so just rolling it into one. And two, June was a little bit of a slow month for me, both because I was sick and I was traveling so much, so there wasn't really a lot for me to talk about, so it just kind of makes sense to roll it all into one because of what I was loving in June. I kept using into July, so it just kind of made sense in that sense. So that's what we're gonna be doing in today's video. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. I am Jamila. I love all things beauty and makeup. I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'm absolutely happy if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Okay, and to kick off this video, I'm actually going to be working with Ana Luisa again, which I'm super duper happy about. They are an amazing jewelry company, and I'm so glad that they reached out to me because they reached out to ask how I was feeling about their jewelry and what I thought about the longevity of their products, and I was like, it's great. So for this part of the video, I'm here to tell you about how the products actually wore over time. Now, I have been gifted some products from Ana Luisa, but I've also purchased a couple of it on my own, and I've gifted some to my mom because I thought that they were great, and if I wanted to share it with her. So if you're not familiar with Ana Luisa, they are a jewelry company that focuses on really dainty pieces of jewelry, which was something that I felt was missing from my collection because, to be quite honest, I love the big chunky pieces. I love how they look, but as someone who also works in a very corporate setting, that's not necessarily something I can or would wear to work. So I have always felt like I needed some smaller pieces that I could wear in a work, more professional setting without it being overwhelming. So I was really glad when I discovered Ana Luisa because they really do have those petite pieces in gold and silver and sort of these beautiful small designs, but very, very intricate. So like I said, I have been gifted some products from the brand and I have purchased some for myself. And overall, I have been really, really impressed with how they wore. So I do want to show you a couple of the pieces that I have because they are favorites, especially because I traveled so much in June for work that these were the products that I was traveling with. Now, I do keep my jewelry in this travel case, and this is what I've been traveling with. I've had everything stored in here, and pretty much my entire Ana Luisa collection has been included in here. So I want to show you guys a little bit of close-ups in terms of what the products look like, because I've had these for several months now, and I think some even over a year. So I want you to see how the pieces wore. I only have gold jewelry. That was just something that my dad kind of instilled in us. We only wear gold jewelry. So all of the pieces that I have from them are in gold. And I will say I've experienced no fading, no tarnishing, nothing like that. And I'm not somebody that's particularly gentle with my jewelry. I wear these to sleep. I wear these in the shower. I've worn these like consistently without taking them off, and I've had no irritation and no issues with them, no sensitivities in my ears where they're red or anything, and they haven't changed color at all. So let me show you guys a couple of the pieces that I have had and what they look like now, having had them for several months and some over a year, so that you guys can take a look and see and let me know. Okay, so I want to start with these earrings. Now, these are some rope hoops that I have. They're very, very small, and they actually even come in a smaller size. They come in the huggy size, but I like this size because it gives a little bit of oomph, a little bit of drama without being overwhelming and too much. And this has been one of my go-tos in terms of what I wear very often and what I travel with. I've had this for a very long time, and it still absolutely looks the same. It's also one that, because it's so small, that I forget about it in my ears a lot of times, and I'll shower with it, and I've realized that nothing happens. It hasn't changed color. It still looks absolutely beautiful. It still looks just as good as when I first wore it. This piece on top here is also this huggy. Is also one that I just recently stuck in this ear, and that's because I couldn't get my small studs to fit. So I stuck the huggy in here, and I love how this fits. This has been here for several weeks now. I've had no irritation, and I love the little diamond stud in it, and it just gives a little edge to the ear. So that's currently what I have on. Now, my absolute favorite, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is these little drop earrings. Now, what I love about these is that it's kind of 2 earrings in one. So it is this sort of drop earring, but you can actually remove this piece here and end up with this one huggy if you wanted to. So this has kind of been my go-to for a lot of my work meetings. This is what I will throw in my ears because it has a nice little drop effect. Very, very classy. And again, it kind of feels like 2 earrings in one, which makes it feel more worth the price in my opinion. And as you can see from these, it has no tarnishing, absolutely no wear and tear. And I have worn these a bunch. I've traveled with these a bunch. These have been all over the world and with me, including to Trinidad. So it's been international and pretty domestic with me. Now, when I feel a little funky and when I feel like I want to be a little bit more bold, but I don't want to be as bold as my really chunky statement piece earrings, this is what I go for. And I don't think they carry these anymore, but they should bring them back. So these are bamboo heart earrings, and they're again in that gold, and oh my gosh, do you see that? It's very Caribbean. So you could probably guess this is why I love it. It's very, very Caribbean. I love the heart design of it, and I think that it just gives hoops a little extra something. So it's not just a basic hoop, it's a heart, but it's not tacky. It's actually really, really nice. Again, you can see really, really up close. There's no wear and tear to this. It's still a very nice, shiny, beautiful gold color. No scratching, no nothing. Perfection. Another piece that I have is this bracelet. This is a really, really chunky bracelet that I like as a statement piece by itself. Like when I don't want to wear too much, this by itself is actually really good in that it's just a nice one and done piece. So I really like this one. And then I have a couple of rings also from the brand. So the first one that I have is this black ring. So I actually got this in white from the brand. They sent me the white and I gifted my mom that white, and then I bought this black for myself. And I absolutely love it. I feel like it goes with everything. It gives a little bit of a goth-ish vibe, but I feel like it just adds a little something extra with the black hair. So I love this black one. And I've had no issues with it. And not a ton of scratches, I've noticed, because, you know, sometimes when you wear rings a lot, you'll realize that it scratches all over the place, and I haven't seen any scratching there. I also have this one with the little diamond studs in there. I really love this piece. It's really cute. And one of my favorites actually is this rope. So this I love because it matches the earrings. It's pretty much like a nice solid set, and she is chunky. So it's a nice statement ring that I like to wear on this finger because it gives that extra oomph. So it is amazeballs. Now, one thing that Ana Luisa did let me know is that they have actually increased their warranty. So if you've shopped from Ana Luisa before, if you were kind of hesitant to shop from them, they used to have a 1-year warranty, and now they've increased that to 2 years, which means that if you have any issues with the quality of your jewelry, tarnishing or changing color or anything like that, you can go back and get either, I believe, either a refund or have a replacement piece. So I love that they have updated their warranty, and that's because they truly stand by the quality of their products. And like I said, I've been wearing these for months, and some of them over a year, and I've had no issues with it. I've gifted my mom products, I've even gifted my sister products, and they absolutely love it. They did also go ahead and send me 2 new pieces, which I'm very happy to add to my collection. The first one is actually this bracelet, which is really cute, a little snug. I will say that. I wish it came in a bigger size, but it's a one-size-fits-all. But I love that this is one that it kind of has like a very unique design with this open piece here. So it does open like this for you to slide it out. But I loved the unique design of this in terms of a bracelet. But if you do have a small wrist, or a big wrist, I should say, you might want to avoid it because she is definitely a little bit snug. And then the second piece is one that I've been eyeing for some time because it is so beautiful and classy. It's this drop. It's like a pebble drop chain, and I just love how classy that is. It's a statement piece in itself with this little pebble, so I'm really excited to have that in my collection as well. And lastly, before we dive into the rest of my favorites, because these are all favorites because I wear them constantly, and like I said, they've traveled everywhere with me. I even have some other necklaces from them, but we're not going to go into that. But before we go forward into the other stuff, they were kind enough to also give me a discount code. So if you guys were interested in checking out Ana Luisa, the code is Jamila20. It will be down in the description box below, and you can use that to get 20% off of your purchase when you shop from the brand. They also do have a lot of really, really great sales. So if you want to wait for a bigger sale, do that as well. But definitely check them out if you love really dainty pieces, or if you're on the hunt for some really dainty jewelry. And like I said, I prefer to buy gold, but most of these pieces do come in silver as well. So if gold is not your color, you can get the silver options as well. All right, so huge thank you to Ana Luisa for working with me for this portion of today's video and for sending me these beautiful new pieces. I hope you guys give them a check out, and yeah, let me know. Let me know if you've shopped from them before. Let me know if you've shopped from them. Let me know what your favorite pieces are, because I'm always on the hunt for some good jewelry. Okay, now let's go ahead and dive into the rest of today's video, where we talk about all of my favorites for the month of June and July. So of course we're gonna start off with lifestyle. We already started off with lifestyle, so we're just gonna keep continuing with our lifestyle products. So next up is the Manta Sleep Mask. Now this was actually gifted to me by the brand. They actually reached out and asked if they could send me one of their sleep masks, and I said sure, and I chose this one. Now, I just wanted the basic sleep mask. They do offer a sleep mask that has a Bluetooth speaker in it and some other stuff. But I just wanted a regular sleep mask because I am not the type of person that's listening to music to fall asleep. Actually, that's going to keep me up. So I just needed to be dark. And I have been struggling with sleep for some months now because everywhere I go, there's always lights. My last apartment, they had a bunch of these floodlights all over the place. And I get it, security purposes or whatever. But the blinds don't filter out the lights completely. So that was always a problem for me. So I would just deal with it because I was too cheap to buy blackout curtains. And then have to modify the whole thing. Like, it was just too much. I was not going through the whole, now I need to build hooks in to hang blackout curtains and all that. I wasn't doing it. So I started wearing sleep masks. And I do have a really, really nice one that I recommended, I believe, in January. And I still love that one. But I want to talk about this one specifically because when I started traveling, or like right before I started traveling, I ended up getting faux locks in my hair, which were big because, you know, braids, they always take up a lot of space. And my old sleep mask actually stopped fitting. So when they reached out and offered to send me this one, I was like, good, I'll give it a try. Hopefully it goes around my head. And the good thing about this one is that it is fully adjustable from the perspective of like this versus the other ones, which tend to have that elastic band and you're trying to force it over your head. Because this has the sort of Velcro in the back, it definitely made it a lot easier for me to adjust. One thing I was concerned about going into this is this Velcro going to stick to my hair and cause a problem? And quite frankly, it has not at all. Now, you can probably see from here, there's a little bit of fuzz in there, but this material is not the type of Velcro that sticks to hair. So I've had zero issues with this actually sticking to my hair. It's not a problem whatsoever. So this worked really well for me. One, from the perspective that it was adjustable, so it fit around my braids perfectly. I didn't have to worry about it being too tight because it was an elastic band and squeezing my head. Now, the other thing too I want to point out about this one is how very lightweight and breathable it is. The material has a lot of like porous surfaces to it, so you don't feel like you're getting hot and sweaty. It has a lot of ways in which your skin could breathe, which I appreciated from just sort of a hypoallergenic perspective. The eye parts of it made this really unique in my opinion because one, these can be removed and adjusted. So we don't all have the same distance when it comes to our nose and our eyes. And because of that, sometimes when you have sleep masks where it's like they just expect everybody's eyes and nose to look one way, it can be a bit of a problem. But the cups for the eyes in this are adjustable, so you can move it as far or as close as you need to, depending on how wide set your eyes are, which I really appreciated. The other thing too, and I want to show you guys about this cups, is how it is shaped. So one of the things that I think a lot of people hate about eye masks is that because it kind of just sits on your eyes, like, you know, if you have fake eyelashes or anything like that, it's constantly touching against it. Now, these are actual cups, so when your eyes sit here, your lashes have like a comfortable amount of space in which they can just rest. So you don't have to worry about your eyelashes being smushed against your eye. It really just kind of like cups right over it, which I appreciated. So that was another really, really big thing for me. I was also quite surprised by how black out this is. These dark, you don't see nothing at all. So I have kept these with me when I traveled because for the most part, yes, the hotels do have blackout curtains, but I like the extra security of having these in case I needed to make sure everything was 100% dark and I didn't have any issue. They were comfortable, lightweight. They even came with a little bit of a carrying case, so I really appreciated that. The one downside to this, and I have to speak on it because I can't not speak on it, is the price. she's not cheap by any means. I think this is $60 something. Let me actually find the actual price. Yeah, so this is $69. So it's definitely pricey for a sleep mask. Now, do I think that this has more longevity than the other type of mask that's on the market? Yes, I do think that this one would definitely last you longer. I think that this is better build, better quality. So if you are looking for something that's really going to last you a long time and you don't mind the higher price tag, I think this is definitely worth checking out. Like I said, they also have the Bluetooth option. So if you're the type of person that likes sleep sounds, you can actually go for that as well. The sound one is going to be $143. That's a bit much. Oh, and the last thing I want to point out about this sleep mask is that in addition to them sending me this, they actually sent me a pair of replacement cups. So one of the things, because they did ask me which sleep mask I wanted, and I opted for this one. But then I also asked if I could get the cooling mask, and it turns out that the cooling mask is just a set of cups that you could replace. So I could actually take these cups out and put in the cooling cups, which is great because I'm someone that suffers from headaches. I get migraines relatively frequently. So I wanted to have the option to just have like a nice cooling mask over my eyes, which would help with headaches so that I don't constantly have to pop ibuprofen. So I'm glad that I can actually interchange the cups as necessary. They also have a weighted mask option, so if you like having something that's a little bit heftier than this, or you want a weighted mask, that's an option as well. This one is called the Pro Mask. And they do have the original sleep mask, which is, let me see, that one's going to be $39. So it's definitely a cheaper option. It's built pretty much the same way, but it looks like the outer material is just not as breathable as this one. Oh, and they have a silk mask version for $79. So definitely give them a check out. I will make sure to link that below if you guys want to check them out. I don't have an affiliate link or anything with it, or I don't make anything from the brand. I just wanted to point that out for you guys because I really have been enjoying this, and I've been using it quite a lot in the last couple months. Okay, two other lifestyle favorite products that I want to mention, and then we'll move on to the makeups. So first up, my tote bag. Now, you guys have seen my large tote bag. I have the large tote in the leather version, and I also have this one, which is the medium tote. This is in canvas, but it's called the jacquard because of this sort of dual color. Now, I love this and hate this at the same time. Like, I love this color. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but I do have to be very careful with it because this is canvas. It's not as easy to clean as leather. You can't just wipe it off. So I'm always concerned about getting dirt on it, but it's so cute. It goes with so much. It's absolutely adorable. So I want to mention this as a favorite. I've been going to the local coffee shop near me, and I've just been going there on the weekends and taking my bag, packing my laptop, and going and editing some videos just to get out of the house, which I've really enjoyed. And that's the bag that I've been taking with me for like my work from home YouTubing. Now, in addition to that, I do want to mention this tote organizer. Now, does this look brand new? Yes, absolutely, because I actually have two of these. I have one of these in my large Marc Jacobs tote. So that's the one that I've been using because I just got back from a trip, so I actually travel with that. But I want to go ahead and show you guys this because this is what I'm going to put into that tote. And this is actually a replacement. I decided to get this one because the organizer that I have currently is very floppy and it does not offer any structure, so I needed to replace it. So I decided to get this one, and like I said, I do have it in another color. I have it in a beige color in my large leather tote, which I'm currently using, and I didn't want to take it out for this video because it has a bunch of things in it. So let me show you guys the organizer. So I picked this up on Amazon. I will link it down below for you guys, and it is definitely a more sturdy tote. So once you pop it out, it is pretty structured, whereas my current, or the one that I was using previously, is very floppy, and I'll show you guys that by comparison. So what it is a pretty open space. You do have a water bottle holder, so you can store your water bottle in here. You either have the option to have this as a sort of just giant open space, or there is a pouch with Velcro on the side that you can use to attach to the inside of the tote. So if you attach the pouch, now you have two dividers. Now this is a zippered pouch, so you can store stuff in there. And then you have this open space, and you have all of these compartments on the side So 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as another zippered pouch here. Again, the water bottle and a zippered pouch here. And in addition to all of that, there is a large opening in front as well for you to store stuff. So this actually fits really well into my large tote, which is massive, and it still has some room, but this is also more perfectly suited for the medium tote in terms of the sizing. And I decided to get this one because of the jacquard print. I just thought that it would match so well with this bag. Sorry, I have to lean all the way back for you guys to see. And the big difference in terms of why I got this one is because this is my current organizer. Hold on. Okay, I was able to zoom you guys out. So this is my current organizer, which is very, very floppy. It has no structure to it, which I think serves well in some ways, but also not great because there's just no structure. Things move around. And with the large tote, I needed some structure. Because this didn't help with things moving all over the place. It just made it worse. So this is the, and you can see it has zero structure or anything. Lots and lots of pockets, which I absolutely love, including multiple zippered pockets up top, but it didn't have the structure that I needed. This I think is perfect for a slim bag, because one of the good things about this is you could actually close in these sections because they have a little tack thing here. So if you are planning to put this in a smaller bag or a thinner bag, it is adjustable in terms of that. But I needed it to be a little bit more structured for my purposes. So while I love this, it just wasn't working out for me. It also has a really nice carrying strap, so you can take it in and out of your bag easily. But yeah, that wasn't working out for me, so I had to get rid of that, unfortunately. And then the last thing that I want to flag, and I will include a photo of it for you guys to see, is my AeroGarden. Now, I purchased my AeroGarden on Prime Day, I think for about $50-something. So it was really, really cheap. I think it was about 50% off. And it's basically an indoor garden. It's a self-sufficient indoor garden. I don't have the gardening gene in me, and I also travel way too frequently to have plants that need a lot of support and care and tender loving everything. So because of that, I've always struggled with plants, even though I want it, and that's my goal, is to have a lot more indoor plants, because I need to keep something besides myself alive. I need life in my apartment besides me, otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. So I purchased the AeroGarden because it was marketed as being self-sufficient, and it is, and it was a way for me to start small. So currently I'm growing a bunch of herbs. So I have basil, thyme, mint, parsley, and dill. I also have a separate sort of self-watering system for some cilantro and some lavender that I'm growing, but I'm talking about the AeroGarden specifically because you can get that at Amazon. The other two I purchased at HomeSense. So with the system, really it's kind of like a plug and go. You plug it in, you add water, you add plant food every 2 weeks, and then voila, you have food. You have plants. So right now it's starting to grow. It's been about a week and a half, or close to, no, it's been about 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks, and I have already started seeing something sprouting. So I'll insert some pictures, maybe some videos for you guys to see, but I'm obsessed with it. So if you have been on the hunt for indoor gardening, but wanted to start small where you really didn't have to do much, give it a try, because so far, so good for me. I'll let you guys know what the produce is actually looking like. I cannot wait to actually have some basil to cook with and some mint to throw in my smoothies and things. Okay. So that's it for lifestyle. Let's go ahead and switch to the makeups. Makeup-wise, I will say that it's pretty much eyeshadow. I don't think I tried any other products in the last couple months. I've been sticking with what I know has been working for me. So in terms of everything else, I have not really branched out. So it's really a bunch of eyeshadow for you guys. And most of this is what I tried in the month of July, because again, June I wasn't wearing a ton of makeup. I was moving, I was sick, I was all of that. So July, the makeups came back. I finally unpacked and I finally started putting makeup on my face again, and I am excited because there's so much good out there. First and foremost, dun 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 dun, I have to start with the Rick and Morty palette, because you know what? I talked so much smack about this. I was like, oh, it looks exactly like Scooby-Doo. This is better than Scooby-Doo. I like this more than Scooby-Doo. Everything from the packaging feels just a little bit more compact and perfect. And this is a lot more neon than I thought it was going to be. I was going to skip this completely until I saw a couple of creators do reviews on it, and I realized that these shades really are neon, and it's really hard to find true neon shades, especially for my complexion. So I decided to pick it up. It was really affordable cost-wise. I think Glamlight is one of the best brands out there in terms of pricing. So I was like, okay, let me give her a try. And baby, she's that girl. I think that this is better than Scooby-Doo, and I do love these sort of pigments and punch to this. Now, this is a very, very bright, very rich palette. You can already kind of see there are no light tones in here. Everything is pretty mid-tone or deeper, so you're gonna get a very punchy, rich look. There are no like serious blend out shades or anything like that, but I didn't care. I loved every single look that I created with this, and I still want to continue reaching for it because it is a beautiful palette. Next up, Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the Sugar and Grunge palette. Y'all know it was coming. I have a deep, deep love for Blend Bunny because it is one of the brands that takes so much time and thought into putting together a palette and in a way that walks you through what you need to do. So where that one didn't have any light shades, this gives you everything you need. You have blend out shades, light shades, pastel shades, down to the richer shades. And the best thing about this palette is that these are the good Blend Bunny shimmers. Now, they have had some more squishy shimmers that I did not like before, and they have since, I think, now completely moved away from that. So this palette has the shimmers from the All Done Up palette, which are those light, airy, super sparkly shimmers, and it is absolute perfection. I think that this is such a versatile palette. You get a lot of sort of neutral options, but as well as those nice grungy 90s tones, which talk about taking a theme and running with it and completely nailing it. So I had so much fun playing with this, mixing and matching, and just chef's kiss. And the packaging, y'all, come on, she did that. And no one does mattes like Blend Bunny. If you know, you know. Hands down. Next up, Fantasy Cosmetica. Oh my god. Oh, and I didn't say this, but I did receive the Blend Bunny palette in PR, and I also did receive this Fighter palette from Fantasy Cosmetica in PR. I do have a code with Blend Bunny and Fantasy Cosmetica. It's just Jamila. It will give you 10% off, but you don't have to use it. Totally fine. But this one, oh child. When Jordan, who's the owner of Fantasy Cosmetica, reached out and said that they were coming out with a neutral palette, I was like, please, dear God, yes, I have to get it. I want to put this on my eyes. And in true Fantasy Cosmetica, like, standards, this is a neutral palette, but with something extra. I've always appreciated that the Fantasy Cosmetica brand does a great job at taking 9-pan palettes and making sure that they're extremely versatile. Like, I don't like monochromatic palettes. That's not my jam. Very, very, very rarely I will be like, yes, give me a monochromatic palette. But for the most part, I need to have options. I need to be able to try new and different things. I do have a full video on this where I do 2 looks for you guys. And what I like about this palette is that, again, in terms of the versatility, you have the warm neutrals, you have the cooler side with these sort of silvers and cool browns, but then you also have this kind of like blue and purple shade. So you get the orange, this kind of red coppery shade, the blue purpley shades, as well as a standard purple. So much versatility from this little 9-pan palette, and it is glorious. I absolutely loved this one. For their first neutral palette, I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. Okay, you already know. So Nomad Cosmetics is a brand that I have really, really enjoyed, and I think that they've just grown from strength to strength. I did receive this in PR, and it just means so much because I love elephants. And this one has like a whole little elephant on it. And this is the only Nomad palette where I've actually kept the postcard because it's an elephant. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with elephants. Anyways, but when I saw the sneak peeks for this palette, I was like, oh, that is cute. And in true Nomad fashion, they really came and they were like, we all put it all out there. One thing I will say about this palette is that it is slightly different from the last couple palettes they did, which were like very, very clearly pressed pigments and had a lot more punch to this. And I felt like these shadows were softer, easier to blend, you could still build them up and get like true impact, but it was just softer, and I appreciated that because you didn't start with crazy pigment at the beginning. I've heard a couple of people have had issues with hard pan with this. I have not had that issue. The only thing that I will point out is that these two swirl shades are hard pressed, which makes it very hard to pick up on a brush, but I like using my fingers for the most part anyway, so I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't have any issues with the color payoff, other than those two shadows being hard pressed and just a little bit difficult to pick up. I also really like the Fantasy Cosmetica palette. Appreciated the versatility of this. You get your warm row, your green row, and then a cool toned row. So definitely a lot of options here in terms of how you can play around with this. You guys don't see the embossing anymore, but Nomad really did a great job with embossing this. When it comes to themes, nobody does it like Nomad. Nobody. Hands down, Nomad is the only brand that I have seen really commit to the theme of a palette and put so much thought into it. And I get it. Their entire brand is centered around travel. So you really get to see the full story behind the places that they visit and the inspiration behind their palette. And I really enjoy that because it does kind of feel like I'm going on that journey with them, and it does inspire me to travel more. As someone who wants to travel a lot more and who loves travel more than anything else, Nomad has a special place in my heart for that. Okay, 2 remaining palettes, both of which I purchased on my own, and I will make sure, you know, to like leave a little note or something as I'm going through this so you know which ones I got in PR and which ones I purchased. Patricia! I didn't think I was gonna like this, y'all. This is the All Matte palette from Mama Pat. This is the Velvet Liaison Mothership. Now, I have only used this a handful of times because I traveled with it recently, and I know Pat's mattes are glorious, so I don't know why I was so surprised by it, but I had a fun time playing with this. I thought it was so nice. I mean, Pat's mattes blend like a dream. They build like a dream. If you look at this, like honestly, depth, perfect. You know, richness, perfect. This is just perfect for my complexion. And playing in this reminded me that, and I was like, she did that. So that I enjoyed a lot more than I expected. Quite frankly, I have the 2 other palettes from that collection, and that is my favorite one. Because I didn't really like the shimmers in the other ones. I don't know, but her shimmers and her 6 bands aren't always the best. But those mattes, yes ma'am. Okay, and then let's end on the Esum Intensity 2 All Shimmer palette. I told myself, don't buy this, don't buy this, don't buy this. It's expensive. You don't need it. And I really thought about it. I actually messaged Glam Girl Chelsea, and I was like, let me know, girl, sis, please, let me know. Is this worth it? And she, you know, was like, it is very overpriced. She admitted that 100%, but she liked the quality of the palette. And I see why. The quality of this is phenomenal. Like, you could do a one and done. Like, you take that one shadow, bloops, and then if you want, take some bronzer and buff it out in the crease. But these shadows are like butter. They sit on the eyes beautifully. They don't emphasize texture. They sparkle the right way where they're supposed to sparkle. It was just so good. I had so much fun with this. I cannot wait to play with this more. I definitely have not used this enough for me to be glowing about it this much. I've only used it twice, but each time I was like, ooh, tingle. You know that makeup tingle when you try a palette and you're like, ooh, this is fun. Like, I have so many palettes and I try so many things that, like, I don't get the tingle all the time. So when I get the tingle, I'm like, that's it right there. So I really, really enjoyed this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's severely overpriced, but I get why this is professional makeup, because I do see this as one that could work with so many different skin tones and skin types. So I get it. I think that this is great, but not great at the price. Anyways, so that's it from me, guys. Like I said, it was pretty much all eyeshadow this go around because I didn't really try anything else in any other category, but that's pretty much it. So we are about to wrap up this video. As a reminder, go ahead and check out the description box for that link to Ana Luisa, as well as my discount code, so you can save some money while you shop. And let me know if you plan on picking anything up, or if you have already shopped the brand and what are your thoughts on it. And don't forget that they now have a 2-year warranty, so if you have any issues with your jewelry, feel free to reach out to the brand because there is that 2-year warranty. All right. As always, go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Again, leave your comments down below and subscribe on the way out if you haven't already done so, and join the fam. I appreciate you guys so much more than you know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!